5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Skibbity bop bop bop, bibbity boppity bop, boppity bop.
Wildly uninteresting podcast.
We're still kind of
going. Welcome to the show. I'm actually very excited for today because it's the 40th episode.
40th episode.
I don't know why we celebrate things in sections of tens and decades and
Let's
such.
get excited
but we
about
do
episode
that.
42.
I think it's because it's the easiest math to do, and everybody gets excited about easy math.
And I think it's it looks decent too on paper.
Yes.
Like the 4 and the 0, 3 and 0. Like it's so simple. People are like, I get it. I can feel that.
Stupid simpletons. Feeling numbers.
Yeah, man. Episode 40. We are excited. We're on every platform. So if you fucking like listening to it on whatever platform you listen to, do that. But listen and share. You know? Okay.
Do that.
Share.
Do it.
I just want you to know that there is a share button.
Make your friends'
And a
lives
subscribe
better.
Yeah.
If you didn't know, then now you know.
I love mashed potatoes. I hope you guys all know that.
Mashed
I
potatoes
just
are
want
great.
you to know that mashed potatoes. So before we start, I want to lay down some ground rules.
Fuck
For
your
this
rules.
fucking podcast.
Make whatever
I was
you
going
want.
to say, you already dropped the F-bomb in the first 30 seconds. Yes, you
I
did.
counted it. 51 seconds.
No, not that one. You did one
Oh.
before.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Well.
You want to
Too
just start
bad
now?
we don't have that 10 cents. So ground rules.
Skibbity
Before you
bop bop.
motherfuckers start talking about time travel,
Uh-huh.
I didn't even read it.
we're going to figure out the definition
I
to
meant to, but then I
time
got
travel.
sidetracked with everything.
So what would be the true definition of time travel? Because I told Sarah when we were talking about it, most people generally think of time travel as I'm going back in time like to 1920 when I was a young kid and I want to change the course, whatever. But time travel can also be putting two apples next to each other and expediting one to rot faster than the other. That's technically time travel because you're expediting the age of one while the other stays the same. Yeah. So technically, I think the time travel is possible in that sense.
I think that would be more time manipulation than travel.
Oh, okay. Well,
I would
think
consider it time travel only if the aging apple actually left your field of vision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, because I'm going to read this paragraph, and this is what brought up the conversation
You
of...
sent it to us.
Yeah, you're an asshole.
Sarah.
I was getting
I
out
know.
of my car. I saw a
She read
headline.
it to me.
Yes.
What a fucking
Yeah,
dick
I actually
sucker.
read it to him while he was driving.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right, so this is
Here
the paragraph that brought up the conversation of what is the definition. So,
His voice sounds so good.
does it? Are you just saying that?
Yeah.
Okay, based on Einstein's theory of special relativity, if a person was in a spaceship traveling near the speed of light, time would pass more slowly for them than it would for someone who remained on Earth. Essentially, the astronaut could zip around space for less than a week, and when they returned to Earth, 10 years would have passed for the people they'd left behind, making it seem to the astronaut like they'd traveled to the future, is this person's take on it.
Yeah.
Now, to me, it wouldn't seem like they traveled to the future,
Yeah.
but that's still time travel because he was gone a week and 10 years passed.
Indeed.
That is, in fact, time travel.
Yeah, because I mean that's supposed to happen whenever you orbit the event horizon of a black hole.
Right.
So why the hell wouldn't it be the thing? It's always just kind of messed with me though. Like, why is the speed at which you travel through physical space
I know.
significant? Because I mean, that would imply that there are tests that could be done on a micro level that if you drive 45 miles an hour down the road,
Right.
and your friend drives 27, then you're slightly younger.
Okay, so yes.
It does.
Technically, it would be true in that sense but it's so minute that you wouldn't be able to tell. So it's 0.00000 it's a very small fraction of a second.
We watched this thing about astronauts, and there were these two twins. They were born, obviously, they're twins, same day and stuff. Obviously, again, one came out first, but the distance between
Same time, man. I don't know you.
Right. The time between their ages had actually gotten to be larger because one had spent more time in space than the other one.
Hell yeah.
So it was, granted it was slight, it was still a change in their age difference.
And it kind of like put it in another perspective. If there was twins here on Earth, I don't know. You just said like the 10-year thing. So if there was twins here on Earth, right, identical twins, and you shot one into space at 99.8% the speed of light, when he reaches a year old in the spaceship, the person on Earth would be 80 years old by that point. If he was to go a half a year out and a half a year back in, by the time he got back, the other baby would be like 80 years old and decrepit.
Other baby.
So, but that gives you hope though, and I believe that as far as space travel goes, because there's stuff that we don't truly understand, and they're talking shit. Okay, so the internet is talking shit about this guy, but not only the internet, but his other colleagues are talking shit about this guy.
Yeah.
But they don't realize, like, people talk shit about the Wright brothers. People talk shit about, they talk mad shit about Einstein and the Tesla, Nikola Tesla. They talk mad shit. And look, I mean, they fucking robbed Nikola Tesla of every one of his inventions. But you get what I'm saying? Like, they're gonna, like, people are gonna talk shit.
Yeah, people always talk shit.
Yeah.
But your other colleagues, it's the thing is because when they teach them when you're young, we have this general sense of learning. We are all taught, like, this is what energy is. This is what makes electricity. These are the only possible outcomes, whatever.
Yeah.
So by the time you get older, when you say free energy, they're like, nope, that's not possible because nobody's ever done it.
Right.
Doesn't mean it's impossible, though.
I think the colleague that they interviewed in here wasn't horrible or anything. He wasn't being like an asshole, but he was just saying that he's
not like a full-on nemesis.
Yeah, I'm sure there are definitely those people, but he said that there were errors in his mathematics, which, I mean, I don't fucking know.
I think he called him major.
Hang on, and
They
I'll
were
tell you.
major fucking whatever.
Deep flaws in the
Deep
mathematics
flaws.
and his theory.
Well, my thing is like, what? How are they actually measuring the time thing? Because I mean, what if it's just there's something about Earth that makes you rapidly age,
right?
In comparison to space,
or is it our view on age and time? Because we created that, right? So is it our view on it? But I don't know. You're right, though.
Because
like,
I mean,
maybe
theoretically, from the perspective of Earth, like the twin that would be on Earth is still like, oh well, my cousin is out there, or my twin is out there.
My cousin.
My cousin.
Cousin twin.
My cousin twin is out there in space. So I mean, for him, it's like, well, he's just a few thousand miles that way. Mm-hmm. But he's aging differently.
Yeah.
So maybe like the speed of light is relating to aging. Like, you know, if you break the sound barrier, you know, like the sound is behind you. So if you're breaking the light barrier, age is behind you.
Yeah.
And then maybe that would be why we can't, I guess grasp the idea of going faster than the speed of light.
Yeah. And it has to be possible because before they traveled the speed of sound, they didn't know it was possible. And then they did it.
Yeah.
And I think by an accidental standpoint, they did it and was like, oh shit, this is possible. And they express like two flashlights flying through outer space, right? The light will always be in front of the illuminated object. So if my spaceship is traveling at the speed of light, the light that's in front of my spaceship will always be traveling faster than the spaceship itself. Then, like, or does it? Like at the speed of light, does the light travel behind
with you?
Yeah, because I just watched a video about they slowed down light beams. They were shooting, what are they called, protons? Mm-hmm. Or is it electrons? No, protons
No, it was
there.
protons.
So they're shooting protons at like apples and shit was awesome, and Coke bottles. But they had it on a super slow motion camera,
Yeah.
so you could see the proton travel through like the Coke bottle and then out of the Coke
Hell
bottle
yeah.
and shit. Very interesting. If you get a chance to check it out, I'll try to put a link in the description.
There you go.
But it was fucking sick, man. And to think like if you could travel the speed of light, the light protons would be behind you,
Yeah.
and you could see them traveling at you, or would everything just be fuzz and blurred, just like
See, and then,
Star
like,
Wars?
the idea of I'm glad that you
That's a good
mentioned
question.
the slowing down of the shit, and because the idea of light, it's like in space, like if you had a telescope that was powerful enough, you could see like into the past of other planets and shit, and that kind of
Oh yeah,
gives the impression that light doesn't dissipate with distance
Right.
in that sense. And then the idea of like sharks, if they keep moving, then they're fine. So with light, it doesn't disappear over space because it's going the speed of light. And then the speed, like if it slows down, would it fade out over time?
Yeah.
And then if
Seems-
that's the case,
Yeah.
then the speed of light is what keeps
Right.
shit the same.
Well, and I would imagine that gravity has a big impact into this as well. So if it's time or gravity here obviously is bit stronger
Reasonable.
is stronger than it is in space. Is that a
Yeah.
correct way to measure it?
In places, yeah.
Yeah. So time would move slower here because of gravity than it would in space because of less gravity.
God, we need a goddamn scientist on this bitch.
I know. It really sucks that we don't have them.
I know.
If you're a scientist, give us a call. Oh,
Yeah.
hey.
yeah, there you
It's
go.
called-
Yeah.
You're on it.
Yeah.
Like a duck on a June bug.
Right? Hey,
Like a-
scientist, give us a call.
Like a
I needed
what?
you to see us.
Duck on a June bug. So
Poor June bug.
poor June bug. No, and that's knee deep in that book, by the way. Alan Watts. I forgot the name of the book, but the Alan Watts book you gave me.
Insecurities.
Wisdom of insecurity, I think.
Oh, Wisdom
Yeah.
of Insecurity. I could see it, but I couldn't say it. Wisdom. You know how it is.
Well, you couldn't see it very clearly, could you? No fucker.
Fucking blurry
I
because
need a
it's
good-
moving faster than the speed of light all up in your brain.
So they kind of how he explains it, and then both him and Jordan Peterson, Alan Watts and Jordan Peterson, they refer to the Bible a lot because I guess
It is a
they
pretty
don't want.
significant document.
Well, yeah, and they don't want to be like rebutted with the religious standpoint, like that high moral ground, moral high ground. That's the word I was looking for. So what Alan Watts says is that we as people, since we don't understand anything and we can't grasp the concept of understanding everything or anything at all, is how he says it. We're just fucking moving through this world and just making up shit as we're going. It just makes sense on paper. But
That's water. It's not water. It's that.
yeah. And he but he says the same thing with religion, like we put a name on it. We put God, we put Jesus because we don't understand in our want to understand everything and be part of it. It's actually the downfall of us. That's why we stay so linear and in place, and that we haven't progressed as far as we have because we have to. It's in our human DNA to fucking understand and
Motherfucking boxes.
put a name on it. Like,
Well, it seems good, though, because you want to be able to recreate the things that happen.
Right.
yeah.
Otherwise, you're just kind of accepting it, and then when
All
things
right,
happen, it's
moving
like,
on.
oh, all right, that was kind of cool. That'd be nice to have happen again, but I don't want to. I
Yeah.
don't want to push it.
I guess, yeah, if we didn't label stuff, we'd never, how would you have a conversation?
I think though,
How would
it's-
you? Yeah.
I think it comes down
Hey,
to
maybe the cavemen weren't stupid. They just didn't want to label things.
I do.
we're
no
out of the
label.
box. That's definitely good to go back to your hypothesis and theories and all that shit. But when it comes down to it, like, nothing's impossible. And I think impossible is used far too much in today's time. And that's what we talk. If they ever come out with time travel, that shit wouldn't be, like, residentially available. Like, we couldn't, hey, everybody, did you get the Oculus Rift? No, but I did get this time machine.
Right.
You want to go back to 1920s, bro? Tonight, have a weird time?
You didn't get one either because I went back in time and destroyed the prototype. Bitch.
And I told her, I was like, you honestly think, like, I don't think that your government would ever allow for that. Only certain people would be able to, and then there'd be rules and regulations for those people. Because, like you said, if somebody went back and killed Hitler, well, now you change a tremendous...
The whole course of history, yeah.
But that assumes we're on one timeline. So
I would just say, then you come down to that, and because they still don't understand that all these black holes in the middle of galaxies, what they do, like they're like,
I figure
well, they're
if
there.
nothing else, if you did it, even if there's multiple timelines, it would change the course of reality on this timeline.
This one,
like this
in general,
current one. So
well, I tend to think of like time travel, like going into the past. It's not actually going into the past of this world, like this existence. It's just creating like a parallel that is exactly the same as our world was at that point in time.
Yeah.
So it's more of like a simulation than it is actual time travel in my head.
I
can see that.
Simulation. I like that. A parallel. Huh. Say it again.
I don't remember.
Well, fuck
But
you.
hey, guess what? It's recorded on the podcast.
Well, I wanted to write it down.
I don't know, a parallel simulation or something to that.
It's between 11 and 21 minutes on the podcast,
Yeah.
somewhere in there.
I guess. No, I was gonna say, if we started it this time and it's this time now, just start the episode
And
for
there
your
was a-
rewatch at the same
Right.
time.
And there's a car that passes going 20 miles an hour. How long does it take us to figure out what Ian said?
But it does make me wonder, though, going back to the whole speed of light thing, like at what point does speed actually matter in stuff, like in whether it's just life in general or if you're doing
meant
in
weather.
experiments or weather. I mean,
How important
anything.
is speed when it comes to storms?
You never know.
Yeah.
It is important.
It is.
It has to be going a certain speed for it to turn into a tornado.
And
or a
that's
hurricane.
what we always said is it's all about perspective at a certain point, right? So we know that we're very small in relation to the universe, but it's all about perspective. I'm sure that the blackness of the universe
Right.
doesn't see itself as anything big, but it's fucking
Spearheaded by King James,
It's like
LeBron.
everybody just keeps calling me a black hole, but I identify as a bright shining
I've got all
star.
kinds of stars in me.
Yeah.
I'm full of light, man.
But I think it's all perspective, man. Putting your mind outside of the confines of ordinary teachings.
It's definitely where a lot of experiments come into play. People
Yeah.
with different perspectives. Otherwise, experiments wouldn't happen because everyone would just fucking think the same. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. This is chocolate. All right, cool.
And when you live in a time too that it's not cool to fucking think outside the box and be different either. Like that's what's weird. You think that like we live in the 21st century? Yeah. Yeah, we do.
Yeah, I struggle with that too.
Yeah.
Which
live in
one
that-
is it really?
21st century. You think we'd be like supporting, and we do, like Elon Musk and these great thinkers and all that. But in general, though,
That
normal everyday
motherfucker
people
had an app. He's not a thinker.
are all about like they find somebody that's doing something like relatively fucking smart or fun or whatever, and then they just follow what they're doing.
Right.
So you've got one person that's not even stepping outside the box, just doing it a tad bit different, playing a prank a tad bit different, and then you have like 100 people following them trying to get famous as well. You know what I mean? It's a weird time you live in that nobody's really. We don't support education. We don't support progression. We don't support none of that. We're just stuck in this fucking infinite loop of dumb shit videos and who can play pranks on.
For a long time, though, those who are different have been, I don't want to say hated, but
Ostracized.
yes, ostracized.
I think
But
though
look
it's
at high school.
yeah, it's
if you're
tough
a
to be
nerd.
different. Yeah, it's very tough to be outside
Look at
of
this
the box.
bitch over here with his books.
Yeah, fucking books.
But then that's just American culture. But if you go to like, Japan or
Right.
India, I guess.
Yeah,
They're
they're
like,
on top of it.
Oh, I guess better learn. It's better than living in cow shit.
Do you think they ostracize people who, really like the internet, like just watching stupid videos?
I'm just really into scrolling and like funny videos.
Get out of here, Kyle. We're trying to learn.
It's a fucking
trying to
American,
learn.
Kyle.
No, man, it's you're right about that. It's very tough to be different or to think different or to say anything, and then because then like say you put it out there like for other people to think back. Because the good thing about the internet and social media is we can crowdsource in a matter of seconds, right?
Yeah.
So I come up with an idea. Hey, I got a basis, I got a theory, I got a hypothesis, whatever, and I throw it out there. Well, you don't have 20 people knocking on the door to help you out. You actually have 150 people knocking on your
steal
door.
your idea.
No, to knock your kneecaps out. They're like, this fucking idiot. And they're, call you every name in the
Yeah.
book. And then what do you expect? That person that felt that, this was a good idea. And now he shuts down or she shuts down and, they shut down. And they're like, fuck
No.
this.
Don't you grant them that.
They, thee, that, she, thee.
Sheezy.
Blah, 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 blah.
So, if
Uh-oh.
He, she, and it.
if time travel becomes a thing and it's not so much a parallel, but more like you see in the movies where you literally travel
Yeah.
to a different time that has already occurred, what time would you travel to and why? And what would
Oh.
you do while you were there?
I got my answer geared up.
Gear it up.
I would go
Spit
to
it
the
out.
very beginning of the Industrial Revolution if I could watch it in a fast forward motion. You know what I mean? I don't want to like be stuck in that time, but I would like to go back when it all started, when the spark hit and people were like, dude, let's make shit
Well, I
happen.
mean, you have to experience it in real time, but you can hop around.
Oh,
You say, like,
I can
all
do
right,
that.
I'm going to go back to January the 2nd this time. And then, oh, it's time for March.
Yeah.
Since
Or-
it's already happened, you can. You just can't go past, January 3rd, 2020.
Man, but
I
how
would like
fucked
to
up
see
would it
the
be, though? You
festival.
change something and then you jump like 3 months ahead. And you're like, oh, shit.
And just everything's burnt down, dead people everywhere.
And
That's,
then you spend your whole time jumping back trying to fix that one thing, and then you never get back to your regular
Never
time.
Get the original. That's I would like to see the beginning of that because it was a great time period where people they like encouraged thinkers and they encourage people to like a competitive nature. Who can create the best car? Who can create or a car in general? Who can create a airplane? Who can? And so many people were just dead set on what the fuck can we create? And
Right.
it wasn't so much based on money as progression. Like how can we make coal transportation better, or use coal in general, and all just everything that went along with the Industrial Revolution. I think would have been beautiful. That's why I'm so interested in this little space race competition they got between the three companies, because these people are
Hell
literally
yeah.
day in and day out like. We want to shuttle people and allow them to orbit for $20 million, and not just astronauts. We want to send normal
Yeah.
ass people if they want to go. So if you got $20 million sitting around, you can orbit the Earth.
Right?
The secret millionaire asshole that works at Foot Locker.
Yeah.
And you know what's even better about that?
He's
Even
like, I
fucking
own
better.
100 of these.
The best part about shuttling people back and forth from outer space is that flat
Burning up
earthers
on
can suck a
re-entry.
dick
Oh,
at that
okay.
point.
Right?
Yes, they
Because
can.
will orbit. And then what is this flat earth person? Well, you didn't go, like, I'm going to fucking show you a video, you piece of shit. Put it in their face.
Yeah.
If I had $20 million sit around, I would do it and then fucking slap a flat earther. But I don't know. So I'm not going to slap him just yet.
Have you met a flat earther?
No, actually. I
Never
haven't.
in my life.
Ain't that
I don't
crazy?
think they exist.
Get off their nuts.
Yeah.
I can't.
They don't exist.
I can't let it go.
They're just trolls.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
Nobody
really,
really
think that
believes
they
it.
exist. I think that someone one day was just like, I'm going to put this on the internet and see how it goes.
The fucking leader was like, I can't believe it grew like it did. He was like, I put one post on the internet, and just like the Area 51 guy, he was
Yeah.
like, man, I was making a joke, and these people took it serious. And nobody stormed Area 51 because they're a bunch of bitches.
Who is the...
But they
what's-
partied with the guards.
That's right,
Yeah.
which is way cooler.
Way cool.
Yeah, it's not destructive and shit.
Well,
But
destruction.
who's the... Yeah, it would just cause a lot of problems.
Would it?
Yeah.
Yes, it would.
Would it?
But I
And
mean,
it's unnecessary.
if somebody
Would it?
did actually get to leave with an alien, though, it would change everything.
Well, and
The alien
the
could just
odds
fix
of you actually getting onto the property. And
0.
Yeah, you're not going to. So let's not be destructive. Let's
Yeah.
party with the guards.
Like, unless you have like 1 million trained people.
Right. Yeah. They're all
right,
black ops.
We've got a plan. Even then, they'd still be at a disadvantage because they don't really know the lay of the land.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, you see that shrub over there?
Yep.
It's a turret.
Turret. It makes you wonder though. That's because we've always lived pretty decently close to Fort Knox, right? And I wonder if the hype is all there. Like if you took off running at Fort Knox, like what would truly happen?
You couldn't even get on because they ran your name.
I can jump a fence.
You're
sir.
getting shot.
I can jump a fence.
I guarantee it.
But you
get
know what
shot
I'm
on the
saying?
way
Their
down.
security's on point.
We'll see, and that's another thing
Well,
that's been
they're
debated.
trained professionals.
Apparently,
Yeah.
if you get into Fort Knox, it is so airtight that what they
You'll
do is
suffocate.
they don't even fucking shoot you.
No.
They fucking let you come in,
do it.
and then the whole building fills up with water all the way to the top, and then they can drain it all out. I swear to God to you. And the crazy thing is, we don't even know if there's gold in there anymore. Nobody knows. They haven't seen it since the 1960s. Yeah, they let them in 67 or some
But I
shit.
figure it seems a little silly to keep it there if it's common knowledge that that's what's there.
Right?
Oh man, I don't think that we're what.
You said where you want to go for time travel. He didn't say.
Oh, where do you want to go for time travel?
I'm gonna
My
go
bad.
to like
No, it's okay.
2217.
22. So come get the fuck out of here.
What's your
Get the fuck
reasoning?
out of here.
Just because?
Yes, because I won't live naturally to see it, so I just want to pop ahead and see how much we actually advance. Because in the 80s, people were all like, "In the year 2000, it'll be grand."
Flying cars and shit. Where are those at, huh?
Yeah. Well, no.
Or it'll just be on fire and dead bodies everywhere. Yeah.
Hey, you know what's crazy though? If there ever is like a nuclear strike or some shit. Nuclear.
What
strike.
did I don't think, no, we need to roll the tape back and listen
Roll the
because
tape
you
back.
always yell at him and I never
Nuclear.
hear it wrong.
Because
Nuclear.
you're too far up his ass. You love him too much. You're too close to this.
You're too close
Say it
to this.
again.
Nuclear.
No,
What is it?
he didn't say it.
Yes, he
Nuclear.
No, now he's saying nuclear.
did. How far into it are we?
8:16.
Okay.
But anyways.
We're going to
if
go
somebody-
back and check.
Oh, we're gonna
You
go
know what?
back and check. On
I hate that so much that there's a way around
I'm gonna rub my dick in
disaster,
him.
but I think religious people would definitely blame everything on the apocalypse. Like,
Well, I'd blame the apocalypse.
on a nuclear strike.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Come on, man, don't be that way. You can live through a nuclear strike.
Yeah.
indeed.
Yeah, just hold your thumb up, and if your thumb is the same size as the blast,
You're
good.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you played the game? It's a good game.
Yes.
Oh, no, I'm doing it to our viewers.
3 and 4 and New Vegas. Yeah.
No, man, I don't know. I will say one thing though, about reading more
Yeah.
has been strange because we're so like with audiobooks or videos or TV and stuff, it's so stimulating, right? It
Yeah.
takes me a second, like 3 pages in, to finally get settled in the book and be like, oh shit, I'm reading. So I
Yeah.
kind of got to dumb my brain down, not in the sense like it's a dumber action, because I think watching TV is a dumber action, but you have to slow your brain down and be like, well, I'm learning different at this point because
You really have to focus. And
Yeah.
it's weird.
and I'm actually very excited about it. It has opened me up as far as thought. It's helped me like critically think, but you know me, I get too deep in thought. Like I get too lost in thought sometimes. It's weird. But it's helped me with that. It's helped me with like vivid dreaming, or what is it called? Lucid dreaming.
Lucid dreaming. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting better. I'm no means
Not
you
a
know,
master yet,
No.
but you're enjoying it.
Yeah, it's interesting what reading actually does, and it's helped my vocabulary. I still say
Yeah.
fuck a lot. Maybe by book 5 it'll go away. But no, I told Sarah when we first started, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna within a year I want to read like what was it, 100 and some books.
Listen,
God,
yeah, you
man.
said 100 in a year.
And
Yeah.
what it calculated to was like I had to read the entire book within like a day or two.
I told
make
him,
it
I
happen.
said, there's only 365 days in a year, dude. That's 3 days a book.
Mm-hmm.
He said, perspective.
Man, unless you're really buckled down, that's
Yeah.
that's gonna be
Well,
rough.
I mean, with the Jordan Peterson book, he read fucking all the time, multiple times a day before we went to bed. As soon as he woke up, like he was reading, and it took a week and a half.
Oh yeah, it did. Strangely enough, it's the biggest book I've ever read.
Isn't a bad thing. I'm not saying
I
that.
think it would be helpful if you read less thick books.
I told him
it's very overwhelming.
I have to keep it at like a novella length, like
the book you gave me is smaller, and it's
perfect.
The lettering's a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
It's more aesthetically pleasing than the other one is more like a Harry Potter book where it's like overwhelming. Like what
like
the
a
fuck is
fucking
this?
dictionary.
Yeah. If you read all the way, past the coda and the acknowledgement, it's like 360 or 372 pages or some shit.
Yeah.
Which is the largest book, but I was damned and determined. And I think I have to go back now though and catch some of the stuff that I didn't catch before because I was so dead set on like getting to the end of the book.
Yeah.
But when I first started, dude, because I haven't read a book and since I got out of electrical school. And it's been a while.
Since I got out of third grade.
Well,
awesome.
hey, I'm telling you, back in school, I don't know if anybody else was that way. Fuck reading, man.
I didn't read
I
most
know.
of the books.
Because it was forced on us. Like, I didn't want to read.
I
I
read
had
Red
video
Saw
games.
God.
Yeah, how was that?
Hey, remember though?
I remember liking it, but I couldn't tell you now what it was about.
You all were in high school at a different time than me, but do y'all remember? Well, I guess you would have been in college, so it would have worked better for you. Remember those internet summaries that they would do for books and
Hell yeah.
textbooks
like
and
Spark
shit?
Notes?
God, it was so fucking perfect.
Yeah.
Right now, it's even better. Like they have, they break shit down in summaries
Really?
now. Oh yeah, it's
Damn.
like they stepped it. They even have videos on them now. You can just go.
I remember actually buying the yellow
Shut the fuck up.
the
Yeah, that's
book
right.
and shit because, well, I mean, the internet in college, the internet was big, but in high school, it wasn't all that it is now.
No,
No.
it's insane now.
People were just talking to each other.
Yeah.
The
Hell yeah.
summary books are an actual, like, they're big time. Like, if somebody reads the book first, right? Well, they'll put out a summary book on Amazon, which is just an ebook. They don't have a publisher. And they make a shitload doing the summaries. But I found, though, how much you lose and how much you can, there is the gain in reading the actual book or
Hell
listening
yeah.
to the
No
actual
shit.
book. Because
think-
all the stories that lead up to it, you're like, well, it instills it better than just hearing the summary.
Yeah,
You know
it's
what I
just
mean?
like- No,
What
go
is
ahead.
it? No.
No, I was gonna say if you genuinely want to read it and like know the story, know the everything, the effort that was put into it, you should definitely read the book. But if it's for like you're writing something for school, fuck it, get the summary because the other shit doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The fluff doesn't matter.
Something he was talking about, and I don't know if y'all dealt with this in college, but I had this one fucking college professor, man, and he pissed me off because I wasn't writing a paper about drugs should be legal. I was talking about the benefits of DMT, marijuana, this other thing, spiritually and physically, biologically speaking.
Yeah.
Anyway, he was fucking from the get go. Nope, that's a terrible idea. People fight it. But he was like he was in the army and he was like a straight laced fucking dick sucker.
He was just personally opposed to
Yeah.
substances.
All of them.
He's like
Yeah.
a weird army guy that's against personal freedom.
And
But
as
they,
a teacher, you cannot do that shit, especially if the assignment is to pick a side and argue for that.
Yeah.
You did the assignment.
Well, see, yeah.
Some
Fuck
teachers are
you.
just shitty.
Jordan
Yeah.
Peterson has a good section in that book, like tell the truth or at least don't lie,
Yeah.
and where he's like, people are so not only in like me and you talking or in a social standing where you're trying to impress those that are around you or whatever. We're so scared to step outside and be different and be something because we want that social standing. I want you to like me. It's pretty much. And a lot of people, everybody in college, want to jump on the bandwagon. That's why this downfall of the college, whatever you want to, like the thing with them, is downfall. Like all these social justice warriors and all that. It's like just killing the college experience for a lot of people and shutting down masculinity and all this other stuff.
Right.
Anyways,
You're not allowed to be yourself anymore.
he relates it to that trying to impress. Like, so nobody wants to. I took a failing grade because I was so dead set on like this. I want this ideal. I want to write this. This is what I feel like I want to do, and I'm interested in it. Fuck your shit. I want to do my shit.
Yeah.
And so I wrote it and I took a failing grade knowing I was going to take the failing grade because I wanted it. But Jordan Peterson says that's why we don't have these great thinkers and people educationally speaking that want to improve the world because everybody's trying to like impress their teacher.
Yeah.
But now you have teachers that are expressing social justice work, like they're fucking social justice. So what are you supposed to do? Jordan Peterson said he can't stand, being on campus. He's
Oh,
like,
no, he hates it.
Yeah.
He wants to start his own shit.
it truly is. I would hate to be in college right now, especially as a white male. And I'm not saying anything because I haven't, I've been to prison and all that, but I haven't had it really hard.
Well, see, I'd enjoy it for just the fact that it would be something to rage against. It's like you get to college and you just raise hell. Like I thought this was supposed to be a place of higher learning and like exploring ideas, not your militant stupid shit.
Yeah.
As long as it's
kind of
within my parameters.
Yeah, let's expand your mind this way.
That's
Fuck you,
Only
bitch.
this much.
I had a music teacher that she wanted us to bring in a piece of music, whatever. It could be popular music, and then we interpret it as a class, right? She got so upset that I took my guitar in, I sang it and played it, and I had a guy with me that was playing, as a backup guitarist, rhythm or lead, whatever.
Yeah.
And she was so upset because I didn't bring in, the USB drive and play a piece. And then we all talked. I played it. So she was like, well, you took the attention away from the assignment by playing it yourself. I was like, no, I think they were more interested in the fact that it was live instead of on a...
Yeah, like I did the assignment. I just fucking did it in front of you.
Listen
Fuck
to
you.
the song, whore. Quit looking at me.
But a lot of it comes down to, it's like what my parents taught me. They were like, we won't, whatever. We won't get you in trouble if you can generally argue your point.
If you can
Why did you
justify
get,
it. Yeah.
in an intelligent way. If you couldn't do that, then you deserve to be punished or whatever.
Yeah.
We'll take
You can't
something
just
from
be,
it.
oh yeah, I stole this because I was hungry and I wanted it and I don't want to ask you for money.
So most of the
Don't
time,
you dare hit me with an.
and that's why I like the electrical trade so much, because we're allowed to critically argue with the inspectors. Turn that one on.
Okay.
We can argue with the
inspectors.
inspectors and be like, this is why we had to do it a certain way. There was no way around it, blah, blah, blah. And if we could do it intelligently, you can pass with something that wouldn't normally pass.
Hell yeah.
So I've always been that person. Like, I'm going to give you an argument, but a lot of people, they don't work that way. You know what I mean? They're just like one ideal.
Yeah.
And if you're not on the same page, fuck everything.
No, it's this way.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
really,
not a good way to be.
If you're an educator, like someone who is morphing brains, you should be open. If someone that's going above and beyond to actually perform it live in class, most people would not do that. I know I had assignments in high school where we had to, dress a certain way or do, like live action. Oh, I'm a flower blooming, shit like that. I didn't want to fucking do it.
Right.
I didn't want to at all. But some teachers would really appreciate you putting that effort into it. I didn't even want to do that shit when it was the assignment.
It's okay. It brings a sense of fun novelty to it.
Right.
It's more memorable that way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I agree with that. People are more apt to listen than if it's on a CD. Then they can't visually see you face to face, and they lose that connection.
Well, and you should really be open to that stuff as an educator, because everybody learns differently and writes differently. And if you got a paper that was, I guess, used different language, you're not going to be like, oh, no, because you sound too intelligent and everybody else is retarded.
Right.
Yeah, dumb it down, Einstein.
Yeah, that's never going to happen. That's so fucking stupid.
It's like they never took an education class.
I know. How did you become a teacher?
I think that's why Jordan Peterson has such a bad view on it. Is he's like, they're not implying, like they're not allowing these kids to think out of the box. They're not doing. They're like, get in line and do whatever. Like, but I'm glad that he goes against it.
It does kind of seem though that a lot of the kids don't want to think in their own way. Yeah, they go and they're like, no, this is appalling.
Yeah.
Teach me like this.
Oh, they
You
just wanna
should
go
be
back to the-
homeschooled. Just go back to that.
They want to go back to the normal way, and I mean I can see that that's okay, because we're so anxiety driven. Like we want to know, we want to have a grasp on things and thinking outside. Like when I read Alan Watts, dude, I'm just like, I don't know a fucking thing. Like this dude had it fit because he twists every subject to make it like you don't know, like anything you think you know, you don't.
Right.
Like it's all infinite and we have no clue what we're doing.
But
And
it's
he's
also all
completely
connected. And it's,
Right. Yeah.
It has a purpose.
It's all very one.
Yeah. That's I was watching before you come over a Paul Stamets video, and they laid out that it was something to do with a place on the map. Let's say it was downtown.
It was Japanese train station, wasn't it?
Yeah. And so they laid out these nutritional pellets, right? In the same way that the trains each stop. I think I'm saying that right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they put, it was like a green slime mycelium. Well, this mycelium at first would grow out, right? And it would find all the food.
Yeah.
And then it would create these, direct lines to each one of them. And they were more efficient. The mycelium was more efficient than the trains ever have been. And it was just
awesome.
crazy to think, like, we have no clue. No clue what's going on in the world and what's going on in your own biology, but people want to grasp to religion, or anything really that they can hold on to, and then they know that in the afterlife they'll be with eternity with God and all that. That's a better thought than I don't know anything. Like when you don't know, what do you do?
Well, and I
You just
think
go with the flow.
yeah. Well, if people too would like read more and educate themselves more on just things in general, they'd
Right.
be more okay with the idea of just not knowing because at least they have some information about other things.
Something.
At this point, I know nothing. Okay, well, God's there. That's cool. I'm all right then.
Yeah.
If you knew anything, if you would educate yourself on anything, you'd be okay with the unknown because
And the
you
infinite.
have,
Yeah.
you've got at least some knowledge of stuff, some
Something.
working understanding
Right.
of what is in the world.
Yeah. And it's tough. And I've been in the same situation. I've been in the church. I've been out of the church. And it's now I'm just at a point where I'm like, I don't fucking know anything. And I want to know more about me. I want to know more about my biology, why I think the way I do, why I work the way I do. I want more out of life. Not in the sense like, oh, I want more money or I want a bigger car. I want a fucking nicer house. I just want to know me better and try to at least understand the world better, because I think religion, it's good for a lot of people, but it definitely dulls out the senses.
It shuts you down. I feel like it completely quiets who
What's
you
their
are.
answer for everything?
Oh, well, pray about it or go to the Bible.
Yeah. And there's no answers in the Bible, by the way. And that's another thing that Alan Watts says. Like, there are no answers in the Bible. They're all interpreted by the reader.
Yeah.
And then they're just paraphrased later on. Like, it's what it comes down to. How do you know what to grasp onto when the people telling you about it are fucking wrong? Another thing. Let me fucking bring this up because it got really, it fucked me up, dude. A family member, I won't say who. A family member was like,
Tristan.
every time we're fucking around them, dude, they're like,
Cousin Tristan.
they're like, you need to pay your 10%. Dave Ramsey, you need to pay your 10%, right? Well, most of these people saying that you need to pay your 10% are Christians, the Christian faith that speak from the New Testament, and that's what they believe in. We're not Jewish. We don't want to know the history of the Jews. We just want the New Testament, right? They only speak of 10% in the Old Testament of the exile to Egypt when they became tribes, and these tribes would offer up 10% of their agriculture to build the fucking cities, right? To build their economy, let's say. But Christians have adopted the 10%, monetarily speaking,
And tried to steal it as their own.
as their own. And in the New Testament, I went through all of Matthew, Luke, all of them. They mention giving, they mention giving whatever you have, whenever you have it, whenever you feel like
And
doing
not
it.
necessarily
And don't
monetarily.
it doesn't say nothing about
yeah,
monetary.
if you can build a house, build a house.
If you can
this
play
goat
drums,
will
play
help,
drums.
then, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Give up your goat.
Can you work on cars? Well, fix thy neighbor's fucking vehicle, bub.
Yeah.
You hear me?
Bub.
Fix thy neighbor's fucking vehicle, bub.
That's in the
Straight
Bible.
out of Matthew 2:23.
But we did, man. We went through a bunch of these sections trying to, and given my audience, if fucking like, don't judge me. If you know somewhere in the fucking New Testament it says specifically 10%, then let me know. But other than that, it says to give, whatever you have, blah, blah, blah. It never specifically says, monetarily speaking, you have to give 10% of your money. And so we were wondering, when I got kicked out of the church, right, I was like,
Right. That's still funny.
it didn't dawn on me. Like, they never contacted me. I've been in that church for over 15 years, right?
Yeah.
I've played drums for over 10 of those years.
All are welcome,
Not drums.
except you, Adam
Yeah.
Ashby.
I've played music for over 10 years with this same church, right? When I give to offering, I don't put my name on the stuff. And I'm not saying this to let the left hand know what the right hand's doing, but I'm just saying for the story's sake. I don't put my name on the thing, because also in the Bible it says that you shouldn't let people know, when you give,
What you're doing, yeah.
you don't want nothing in return, right?
I just want you to know I donated $3,000 to the homeless community
You're
to
doing
try and
good
help
for
them.
good, not the attention.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what I don't write it on the thing. Now this
Get all
is
the kids'
weird.
moms to suck my dick.
we also read that that a lot of Christian churches, and they don't openly say this, but they will disconnect with you if you don't pay tithes. So if I put my name on all of those and they could visually see it, when they kicked me out of the church, they would try to get me back, because I'm a tithe-paying Christian. Especially if I'm making over $150,000. Think about that. What's that? $1,500? No.
$15,000.
$15,000.
You were there.
And I only say that because I have a family member that pays that, and I know that he makes over $150,000. So if he's a tithe-paying Christian, they're not going to get rid of that guy.
No.
If that guy makes a podcast, they're going to be like,
the fucking
man,
lights on.
they're going to be like, fuck it, dude. You can come, just don't say nothing about the church. They're gonna negotiate with him.
He's a little too righteous to get
Yeah.
rid of.
So, but it's just after we start doing it, like, she'll see the switch that goes off in my head. Like, I'll start looking this up in a calm manner, but by the end of it, I'm so fucking blown away, and I feel psychotic, don't I? I'm just like, what the fuck is going on in the churches, man? I feel like somebody who would feel like they felt in the Scientology.
You
in
feel
Scientology.
and feel and
I
felt.
didn't know how to fucking say it, so that's how it came out. Scientology would get me that way. If I was a Scientologist, I'd be like, what the fuck is going on here? Say you were in it, from birth up until 15, say. Man, or if I was me now in Scientology, I'd probably kill myself.
Yeah. I
I'll be
don't
honest.
think that you would be in it for this long.
I don't think, because mentally speaking, I
Why
don't think I
the
could.
fuck do you want more money from me? Not even allowed to do anything.
You could hang
God.
out at their little centers,
Fuck that
watch
shit.
movies with John Travolta.
Yeah,
I wonder if we'll end up getting a letter from the. We should seriously do a podcast strictly about
Strictly, all
Scientology
about
and
it.
see if we
Yeah.
get a letter from them.
I'm
Because
down.
that's what Joe Rogan had Leah
Remini,
Remini
yep.
on there, and he ended he ended up getting a letter from the Church of Scientology
Yeah.
afterwards.
And before,
How do you have someone who just sits around and looks
they have
up
a
the
bunch of
stuff
people?
that? Well, you're not supposed to do that though. They're not allowed to do that.
Yeah,
They're
but
not
they do.
allowed to use the internet to read about what people are saying.
yeah, but they definitely do, though.
Yeah, but they're not allowed.
They're
Well,
not.
I mean, once you're clear, though, you can do whatever you want.
I guess they
If you're John Travolta, you can kill somebody and they clean it up for you.
Yeah.
Well, that should be true of anybody
That's
that
his status.
that was in Greece. You know?
That's
I can agree with that.
Olivia
I can
Newton-John.
Hell yeah.
You can murder
Murder.
Stockard Channing probably has murdered a few people.
a few.
I'm down to do. I know there's a lot of stuff about Scientology out there, but I'm down to do an entire episode about that.
Yeah.
Study it, read book. Like, we'll take like 2 weeks to dive deep into it and figure it out, and do an entire.
I think
I'm
maybe
completely
next
down.
month. Just because I know when I wrote that paper on it, it was fucking
Rough,
confusing
wasn't
to me. And I'm not stupid. And I was
Drawing
like,
that.
what the fuck is this stuff? Because it's so culty. None of it made sense to me.
What is this stuff?
It was insane. I could
melting my
not.
arms.
Essentially, my brain, my eyeballs.
What?
I could not grasp it because
Joe-
it just doesn't make sense.
Joe
to-
Rogan got that David Miscavige's dad. on
Dad
it. His
on
dad is like, this fucking place is a cult. My son's a faggot, and it needs to be shut down
Yeah.
immediately. But
It's a dick sucking cult.
they have so many. What is it? I
don't know.
Like office space. What's that?
Locations.
Commercial.
Yeah.
They have so much commercial property, man. It's fucking insane how much they own in California and Florida.
Yeah.
It's insane. But I'm definitely down to do an entire podcast about these stupid bastards.
I feel like by the end of it, I'm gonna convert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because.
Just cause.
No, you're not.
I like cults. Why
I want to
not?
try it one time, just go and then like grab one of the cans, and I want them to be like, "What do you think?" And I'm like, "You're a fucking idiot." That's what I'm thinking. I'm
No.
thinking that this is weird, and you suck a lot of dick.
No, and no. Because they will follow you around. They will not stop. I'm
They
not
won't
doing all
stop.
that.
Can't stop.
Those motherfuckers are crazy. So do you want to know where I'd go if I could go back in
I do.
time? Because
Get out.
just chose not to ask me.
But you're forcing it on us now, so
I'm
go
gonna
for
fucking tell you anyway.
I know. Well, I'm
Listen
sure.
up, fuckers.
I'm sure you all could guess anyway.
it. Oh, JFK.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
1963. What up? Right on the fucking grassy knoll, and I'm just gonna
Yeah.
keep going back, going back, and just watching over and over
That
again.
seems reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
My first thought was you would be on the set of The Wizard of Oz.
That would be
Ooh,
cool
there's
too.
another one.
Judy Garland would be really cool to be around. A fucking crazy alcoholic, fucking drug addict.
Hey, was
would-
she during the movie like still there too? Damn.
You
I knew
crazy ass lush bitch, come hug me.
It
Her
would.
mom fucked her up on that shit too. Certainly.
Yeah, I bet that it would ruin the movie for me. Even though I know she's that way, and I've heard tapes of her and stuff, like talking, like of her final tapes essentially, and she just sounds fucking crazy. I think it would ruin it to actually see it in person.
Maybe not though. It might. I mean, from what you've been through, it
Yeah.
might be exciting to see.
I guess, I don't know. I don't know why I actually said that, because
I could see where it would take some of the magic out of it. Mm-hmm. You just see this fucked up person.
I think that's with.
Off camera, they're like, "Ugh," and then action,
yeah,
and then they're gold.
I think that goes with any of your like not heroes, so to speak, but the people you really look. You know, I guarantee a lot of them aren't. They're
yeah.
just.
I wrote a
not who
paper
you think
about
they
her
are.
in elementary school.
Hey, Tin
Yeah.
Man, you got any Henny in that old can there?
Definitely.
Because I
don't
have
think they're who
some
you
in
think they are.
Yeah. Thank you guys for the Blue Velvet Criteria.
Yeah.
Hey, did you
you're
finally pick that
welcome.
shit up?
Yeah.
Was
Sorry.
it good?
I've watched it the past few nights, and there were some deleted scenes and shit on there.
Ooh, nice.
Like
Yay.
53 minutes of deleted scenes.
What?
But I feel like you guys need to watch it. Fuck, I meant to bring the DVD copy that I have.
Oh, you're an
Oh,
asshole.
man,
like,
look
you
at
know,
it,
because they
yeah.
would just say, hey, here you go, watch it in your own time, because you can have it, because I don't fucking need it.
Because I don't fucking need it.
But no, the character that Dennis Hopper plays, Frank Booth, I think you will enjoy him thoroughly.
Hell yes.
He's so crazy.
Try to remember it when you're not dog ass tired next time.
I'll do my best.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Man.
I really like that.
It was, all right, so have you guys seen all the World War III memes?
No, I got off Facebook, bro.
No, it doesn't matter. It's Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter. It's, I mean, because, you know,
I
Trump
have
ordered
none of
the,
those things.
Trump ordered the bombing or whatever of like an airport or whatever, you know, and it killed the Iran general guy.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and everybody's all up in arms about it, and they're like, "Oh, it's gonna be World War III," and all the young meme people are making the
Hopping on it.
memes about it, you know, and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna get drafted" and all this shit, and then right,
Shit.
but then there's a part of me that's like, "Yeah, that's cool, man. Draft him up." Give them something to do.
Give them some brain. Let them actually see.
Could you
Yeah,
imagine some
life.
of the people nowadays getting drafted, dude?
Oh, we're going to lose.
We're losing.
It's like, as much as I would hate it, because, whenever I was in high school and it was like, all right, time to sign up for the draft, like, I hated it. That sucked. Because it was stressful. It was like around the time of 9/11. So it's like,
At
fuck,
any
dude.
time I could be called.
Probably about to go.
Uh-huh.
But then, I had the thought of, like, the safe space pussies. It's like, all right, get them over there. And then it'll kind of give them a new perspective. And they're like, oh, man, I was complaining about a bunch of dumb shit.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm on board with it. Not to do anything with war, it's necessary in our time. Like, it doesn't have to be, but it is, because there's a bunch of kids that want to fucking argue about over, you know what I mean?
Right.
Grown-ass kids that want to argue about their toys. But, man, it would be very strange to see some of the people. And then think about all the obese people that we have. Can you imagine sending them over? Imagine the
they
fucking
could get
custom
shot a lot
suits.
before they die.
Put them on the front line.
Yeah. Seriously, it would be defense. You just have to go into World War III like you're playing football.
Yeah. Put the big guys in
Operation
line.
Blob Blob.
Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, man.
Blah, blah.
That'd be fucking ruthless to see those people. Because you think about when they stormed, what's the beach?
Normandy.
Shit, Normandy. Why couldn't I think about that? I'm terrible.
Normandy.
Normandy. Most of the people in that boat, a huge percentage of them, they were pretty much, this is where I die. Like,
Yeah,
they
dude,
were
Right.
prepared to die.
I mean, I've never been to Normandy and stormed the beach, but I've seen Saving Private Ryan, and I know that would suck shit.
Can you imagine being on it? And then they were shooting at them before they ever had a chance to get off the fucking boats.
Yeah.
They had pretty much had to dive in the water and hope that they didn't get shot in the ocean.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of like running down a hallway, and you know that everybody popping out of a door is just gonna blast on you.
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine, man?
No.
The
That's
people
why they need a
nowadays, are not gonna-
juggernaut armor.
all the social justice warriors. Can you imagine them trying to fight a war? Or the people that are so soft they can't even fucking tie their
I
own
would
shoe?
hope
I
that.
refuse to take a gun. I'm gonna make a sign.
I was going to say, I would hope that they wouldn't be able to find anything to say anything about. You're going to war, so shut the fuck up and go. But they'd be over there trying to, wherever they are, trying to fight for women's rights.
Hey,
and-
listen,
Oh,
here,
yeah.
General.
Yeah.
I feel
We
like
need
though,
more women generals.
Trump is trying to fuck as much shit up as possible before he might get voted out, which I don't think that he will.
He's not gonna get voted.
No, I swear, it's going to be fucking amazing if he doesn't. I'm excited.
Did they not do the final decision yet? I thought they did, and they said no.
No, we're saying that
Oh, no, they're
reelected.
still. I
Oh,
think they're
with the-
still working on how to go about the
Proceed.
process of it.
Oh.
But they're not going to be in time for the next election, I don't think. It takes them so long to fucking push shit
Right.
through. But I just think it's funny. Like, he's just like, what can I fuck up before I leave if I get kicked out? And if I stay, well, I'll just nuke everybody. Is that better for you?
Yes.
I'll just shorten it down to nuke
Yeah,
every time I say it.
great.
I don't think you say it wrong.
Nuke-queer.
Nuclear.
Nuclear.
I'm so nuclear. In May
Nuclear.
2019, the U.S. blamed Iran for damaging 4 of their oil tankers off the coast of the United Arab Emirates, which they denied. Is that really why they did this?
I don't know.
Iran
I didn't read
also-
too deeply into it.
Let's see, Iran also shot down an American surveillance drone claiming it was in their airspace, although the U.S. insisted it was in international territory. Is this not some like elementary school arguing? I
It
swear to God.
is.
The only
Yes.
time I ever got in trouble in elementary school, we had during recess, I had to sit on the wall if you got in trouble. Damien kept putting something, he would always leave his shit on my desk, and it would piss me off, dude. And there was like a little mailbox, and I was like, get it off my desk. I finally said something, little, 9-year-old me yelling at him. Well, it was a gift for me. It was the little mailbox with the little cat inside of it. But I got in trouble because I yelled at him. I kind of lost it a little bit. That's the same thing. Get your shit off my desk is the same thing as get your shit out of our airspace.
And Trump's over there. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you.
I
I'm not touching you.
sure. That's the same shit. It's my airspace. No, it's our airspace.
It's ours.
What?
Hey, when you actually, whoever that philosopher I was reading up on,
Eric Andre.
man, I can't remember. No, I can't remember who it was. But anyways, he said to step back and look at the absurdities of life. Like life in general is fucking absurd.
Yes.
Like we cut down trees. This is a table. We're sitting on that. Blah blah blah. So we're talking in the mic. Anyways, mammals fucking talking in the mics like idiots.
It's all crazy.
Yeah.
It's all very absurd. When you if you take yourself out of yourself and look in on the situation, it's fucking absurd. And the world is absurd. More absurd than us talking here on the
People
podcast.
are chopping down their breathing plants so that they
the
can
only thing
sit
keeps
on
them alive.
chairs
With their fat asses
while they're on a rock.
watching
shit.
floating
TV with
around
other
a
fire.
fire.
It's so dumb.
But that's when you step outside of that too, and you're looking at politics and these people fighting over all this stuff, and the massive casualties and the fucking detrimental shit they cause to the fucking earth and planet in doing so, and then not to mention the fucking 600 and some, or no, it was over 1,000 nuclear tests they had, right?
My man.
Yeah.
And all the damage it did to Earth. Why? So we can test bombs and blow shit up like little kids. I like blowing shit up too.
Hell yeah.
But if it's gonna ruin our oceans and our atmosphere, I'm probably gonna be like, you know what? I can do without doing that.
Right.
I think.
Well, I mean,
Seriously.
it opened up a portal or whatever to the Black Lodge. So
Shut up.
Oh, okay.
let's just let's think about that.
Think about that for a
That's
second.
just as much reality as this is our airspace.
This is our
This
airspace.
is our airspace.
And that's I really like that image.
Yeah.
I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you.
Now that every time you take the covers from me and then I take them back and then I take them back, we're gonna start a
Yes.
war. I'm just
Yes.
gonna put an AK in your face.
What
Do
if
it again.
it's
Do it again.
I mean, it's kind of like the climate of society right now. I mean, kids fucking shoot each other over everything. Remember that fucking story? It was in Louisville. It was 4 or 5 kids. Literally, one of them was 23. The rest were like under 18.
Yeah.
There were one girl and
Yeah.
the rest were dudes.
I remember that.
They went to this other dude's house because she had dated him a year ago. He hadn't spoken to her. Nothing had happened. But new dude goes to his house and fucking shoots him because he used to date
He
his
used to
girl
date. Nothing other than that. Just like, hey, he touched my girl's pussy.
a
So.
long time ago.
I've shot a man for less.
And dude ended up living, by the way.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Did he get revenge?
Yeah, they're all locked up.
Yeah, Andy started rapping like 50 Cent.
Started rapping.
Shot outside my mama's house.
So he's making shitty raps and paying like prisoners to rape these people.
Yeah,
Hey man, I got something on your books for you.
So we bought a vehicle from
Yeah.
a fucking police officer, and he's a part of a crime or a drug unit, right? And he was
Gang.
telling a gang unit.
Drug unit.
And he was telling us about all these stories, but he said, in general, it's shitheads killing shitheads. Like,
Yeah.
they're paid hits. They're paying these like 14 and 15-year-old kids like $5,000 to go and murder somebody. But it's in general, it's shitheads killing shitheads.
That's why I'm
So,
generally okay with it.
I'm okay. Like, I'm like, all right, cool. If they're not shooting me, maybe I'll catch a stray bullet, maybe live, maybe not. But if you kill that's the greater good, right?
It's like, that's the problem, though, is that it's killing innocent people. If you happen to be there, that sucks.
Yeah, but
yeah, it does.
it's the 1 over a many or whatever.
But I'd say innocent people need to be more aware of their surroundings and
That's
who
right.
they're in league with. We'll say.
Not all butterflies and rainbows.
Well, and I mean, if you're not, I said this whenever we were talking to that cop about it. We were watching First 48, and I believe it was in Georgia, and this woman was sitting in her home. It was like 11 o'clock at night or something. She was sitting in her house in her sunroom, and a stray bullet hit her, and she fucking died. But she's not doing anything wrong. She's sitting at her house. She was like an old grandma. She's sitting.
Okay.
And she fucking died.
Hypothetical. Say a child molester is walking down the road, just minding his own business. Two shitheads are shooting it out. He gets shot in the face. Are you too mad about that?
Yeah, because he shouldn't have gone shot. You have to look at your face.
Come
The Academy's
on, man.
mad.
He's a
Why you
child
mad, bro?
molester.
As fucked up as I think the justice system is, it still is there, and that's what we have. So he should go through the criminal justice system and, be sentenced accordingly, not shot in the face walking down the street because he was in the wrong place.
Not by a stray, but like if the kid's dad wants to like shoot him in the face,
that
then
I'm cool
great.
with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I see. So we're just mad at this.
Just
race.
the chaos of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's but you gotta love introducing that chaos to the world, though. I mean, we live in a
I'm
world
cool
that
with
could.
it.
That's what I told her. I was like, I've been looking up mass shootings and the thought process behind it and all that shit. And you think about that, so many people are so like, we don't live in the wild anymore. You don't have these wild animals coming at you and shit. You don't have to survive every day. You just walk through life like it's all good. I'm worried about, my fucking phone bill.
Well, do you think that maybe there's a pull for people to like, get back to that? Maybe society's a little
Kinda
too
seems
structured
that
for
way.
people.
I think, yeah. No, and I
I
think
need
that
this fucking wild shit.
Yeah.
I'm an animal.
and you are like you gotta think like you're a wild animal that
Sugar
is
comes DMX.
forcing yourself into structure and forcing yourself into the grind of going to work and paying bills. Eventually people are gonna revert back to, you know what, fuck this, introduce chaos to the entire system and start fighting back. Eventually that will happen when these people wise the fuck up. Put a draft out there. I guarantee you people are like, you know what? No. We've had
Also,
enough.
I don't
I want
know.
cupcakes.
I get what you're saying, and cool. Hang on. But
also fuck yeah.
well, I like to play devil's advocate.
Yeah.
The structure.
Advocate.
Yes.
Yes.
Advocate. Today we just say shit wrong.
I was also thinking hypothesis.
Yeah. The structure of society, of it being structured, and we do this, and this has worked for so long. Why is it not working now when people are acting out? Because they're bitches and they don't want to do what the fuck they're supposed to do. So they're crying and whining about it, and now they just resort to violence and shoot people because,
Yeah, it's
I
an
don't
easy
want
way
to
out.
fucking do it. Yeah. Shut the fuck up. Get a job. Go to McDonald's and
like-
give my man 2 hamburgers when he orders it, not
It's like
one.
none
do you
of these
forget a
people,
hamburger?
listen to John Witherspoon, you know?
It is. You say it's like that?
Yeah, it's like that. They never just paid attention. They were always like, "Oh man, Smokey's funny."
Yeah. No. He's
John
fucking
Witherspoon.
great. Yeah.
God
He's
damn
got
it!
a skit where he's talking about the Rolling Stones, and it's just wonderful because he's acting just like Mick Jagger, and he looks just like him. It's so good. Oh
yeah.
God.
Try to put the link in the bio for that one. I got it.
Yeah.
It's not up yet.
Put the
Because
bio in the link.
that would be awesome to have it in there.
Put the link in the Zelda.
I'll have to show you. It's super funny.
Yes,
It's even
I'll probably
funny
see
when you
that.
can't see it, and when you only hear it, it's funny, and it's very visual. So shows how funny it is. I don't know. It is.
Tell me
It
a story.
does.
No, man. It's a weird time, but you got to think, dude. We are wild animals, and people are so comfortable in this absurd structural fucking box that people are just like, I'm cool if I can sit on my couch and watch TV, a very small, minute amount of my life, and then I'll just slave away the rest of it to do so for that little bit of comfort. But if you introduce chaos in the system, I don't know. Nobody knows the answer. What's the answer?
There's always chaos in the system, though. Like, it's just,
Yo,
unexpected. Getting hit by a fucking dump truck. You
it's
don't have to
inherent.
get,
It's there.
yeah. You don't have to get shot in the face when you're not doing anything wrong. That's a bit excessive.
No,
But I
know,
guess so
but
is getting hit by a dump truck because
Yeah, it's all chaos.
yeah,
It's just the way it goes.
I guess it's just fucking part of it. It's still bullshit in
If you
my
want a
opinion.
chance for a happy accident, there's a chance for a shitty accident.
Yeah. Happy accident.
That's what Alan Watts says. There's no way that you can truly respect the good in life if you don't go through the bad. So,
I mean, it's very true.
mhm.
There's just some shit that I think is dumb. Kids
No, I
shouldn't be
agree.
shooting each other
Kids should definitely not be shooting each other.
over
but I can
dating
understand
someone
them.
a year ago.
You know, I got when I was from elementary. Well, then we moved out. You know, of that bad neighborhood. But all through elementary, dude, fight every fucking day. But it taught me how to fight. I
Right.
didn't think, hey, I'll fucking come to school and shoot these people. I guess because I didn't have parents that had guns and other people
Well, and
shooting around me.
You didn't have a mental issue.
I was thinking
Right.
because nobody had paved the way for you, you know?
Right?
Yeah. They hadn't set the bar. You're like,
Well-
what do I do? You could fight, but you were stupid.
Yeah.
And you didn't think, oh, I'm going to get a gun.
We get this gun and
I'm
blow
going to
'em away.
show them.
But I can truly, like you said, I
Or
can
a
definitely see
grenade.
where they're coming from. I can see where that outcast, that person that they have just fucked around with. Like we were watching Justin Wren, which that MMA fighter, and he was telling stories about how he was bullied growing up. And I can see somebody like that fucking shooting them up. Like, why wouldn't you fuck it? Like, I mean, kids are fucking mean and they're
Yeah, they
terrible
are.
and all that. Like, that's one reason why, like, I didn't get bullied when I got into middle school in the sense of, like, dudes didn't come up and, like, punch me in the fucking eye.
Right.
But women, this is why
It's
my
not like
view of
even
women,
The eye socket. It's just like literally on the eyeball.
women,
very
dude,
guided.
I got made fun of from, 6th grade to 8th grade, and nobody would date me because I was chubby and so much, in fact, that I wouldn't go to lunch. Like, I wouldn't go eat. I would starve myself throughout the day because I was so pissed off, not knowing that here in, like, 4 years, I was going to hit a growth
sexy
spurt.
motherfucker.
You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know about growing, and this is just part of fucking that process. But these women were fucking ruthless, dude, when I was growing up. And would
They were
openly tell you how
girls.
shitty. Oh, yeah.
They were
They were
girls.
bitch girls.
Yeah. But it didn't get no better in high school and shit. And that's why my view on women, and then there's other reasons, but that's another portion of
Well,
that
because
puzzle.
they're just inherently the devil.
They fucking up until they get to like 25, and then it's like, well, I better calm down and get me a good man who can pay my bill.
This has been
I'm gonna
another
take care of my
segment of Adam shits on
take
women.
care of my motherfucking 5 kids. Now you want to date a doctor because your shit sucks. Your pussy's all ran through and
I was thinking
shit.
you're gonna treat my floppy pussy ass like
Yeah.
a queen,
Floppy
like the
pussy.
queen I am.
I look back, man. That's
Calm
something
down,
that
Arby's.
I like to, because I haven't progressed great as a human. I was a fucking raging drug addict. I fucking kick in people's doors allegedly, and all that shit. Like I haven't been, and I don't live no fucking fantastic like mansion lifestyle. It is in my head because it's how I perceive it. But
Well, you don't
I
have to
look
have a
back at these
mansion
other
to
people
have
and
a good
see how
life.
fucking lame their life turned out, and they got 3 kids and they fucking hate it, and then. The ones that commit suicide because they just can't fucking stand it or they can't stand their relationship. And I'm like, all right, I'm pretty good with it. Like,
Yeah.
you got yours, bitch. You
I don't
fucking
have it in
bitch.
me
Right.
to break up with you. I'm gonna take my life, Nah.
I can do that.
my valuable life.
Most of those girls that fucking talk shit the entire time in middle school and high school, they got pregnant at fucking 18 and the dude was like, I'm out.
And their
Fuck this, I'm
noses got
18.
bigger, and then
Shit started drooping. Yeah, their pussy was just like,
Well,
like
like
you hear
that's,
it when they walk.
fuck those bitches, because there's a lot of those girls, and I'm not going
So
to call them
many,
women because they're fucking bitches.
So many.
I just don't get it. Like, someone's, I guess, outward appearance should not in any way play a role in dating them. It just shouldn't. So does the it doesn't bother me anyway. But
well, men are just naturally more visual when it comes to
Yeah.
that shit. So I mean, I can't.
Yeah.
well, and
It shouldn't be like super important, but I mean, if I can't tolerate looking at you, I don't want
Well,
to slam.
I'm
Yeah,
not gonna say
that's
that I just have no problem at all. Like
Yeah.
if your eyes ooze and like
You got one leg.
you
like the
got
dude
only
with
4 teeth and they're
It's like the
connected.
dude with the ants on his eyes. Or whatever.
Yes, dude. I'd certainly have my my limits as well. But I've dated some people who are not conventionally attractive. And it didn't matter because they were kind and they treated me well, and it was fun talking to them and all that shit. That matters more to me.
Being steadfast in the sense of, like, my parents teach me, and given my mom and dad's faults, my dad was he treated, he always taught us to treat her like a princess. Like, that's the only thing in life that matters. Other than that, fuck everything else. That's what matters. Make that happy if that's the person you want to be with. And they taught us that, and like growing up, I was just like, well, I'll just keep being good, and eventually good will happen. Like, I'll just keep being good, and eventually it happened. Like,
right.
But if you let that shit get to you, you'll end up shooting a fucking school up and not giving a fuck, And I can see it happening. Like, I could fucking definitely see 15-year-old me shooting up my high school because they were fucking terrible to me. Like, fucking terrible.
In the shit, I just think about how it must be today. Like, in small schools, yes, bullying happens, but I don't think bullying was that bad in our school. Like, I'm sure we've all been bullied. I've been bullied, but
there were a few kids that I actually actively watched get bullied, and I was just entertained by it.
But I don't think it's like a huge fucking problem. Not like it is. We were listening to, what's his name, Justin Wren. They planned shit to where the whole class knew that shit was gonna happen, and then embarrass him publicly in front of hundreds of people. Like, that takes a different type of person, I think, to do that. But think about how it must be now, because I know in middle school, we were all kind of chunky and weird and had bad bangs and had acne. Kids don't have that now. When you're in middle school, they look like adults. There's so many products to make your acne go away, and the clothes are like, adult clothes anymore. You don't have that weird, my shit doesn't fit right.
Yeah, here's your hand-me-down.
Yeah, no, it's like
This fits my cousin.
fucking 12-year-olds have their shit figured out because it's there. So if you look a little differently, you're fucked.
You're fucked.
Because everyone's just walking around looking like fucking models nowadays. I don't know what that is.
Well, I figure it probably stems from the idea that the popular kids of our generation were the ones that went on to actually have kids.
Oh yeah.
So they raised them in that stupid ass mentality, and they're like, well, you don't have to have personality or brains, but god damn it, you wear an Abercrombie.
Yeah, that's right. Seriously.
You're gonna be better than these fucking retards with their Target brand shirts. Massimo my dick.
Massimo.
Yeah. And then it just gets worse.
If you were wondering, I know you were wondering. Tyler Childers.
I wasn't.
Fucking perfect, spot on, perfect. New Year's Day.
I guess we're done talking about what I wanted to talk about.
Oh, were you talking still?
Let's talk about Tyler Childers over Never.
That's awesome.
But no, that's something why it popped in my head, because these fucking young chicks at Tyler Childers, dude. I mean, we're wearing makeup, which some of it looked fucking dumb. Like,
it looked really bad. There were these 15. They had to be 15.
Terrible, dude.
And these goddamn dark ass eyebrows. They all look like they watched the same makeup tutorial and did their makeup.
Yeah, because they all want to be like that one chick. I don't remember her goddamn name.
I know who you're talking about, but yeah.
The model lady with the eyebrows.
Ugh.
I don't know.
I like her eyebrows.
But that's what brought it up. I wasn't changing, so it just stemmed off of. I wanted to say that before I said we went to the thing, just so I fucking made him
one
mad.
time I had a group of teenage girls, like they complimented my eyebrows, and they're like, God, I wish I had your eyebrows.
Shut
I
up.
was like, you bitches are crazy.
Well, I used to get made fun of for my eyebrows.
Yeah.
I think it was Couch. Maybe not. It said I had eyebrows just like you. And like, I was made fun of because I had big eyebrows, and they're dark because I have dark hair.
Right.
But all the time got made fun of for that shit.
It's weird, though. It's funny how they all pretty much look the same. Like, generally speaking, they had different clothes, but the style...
Yeah.
They were, pretty spot on looking the same. And then they all had these fucking stupid goddamn hats. And
They all very obviously just went out and bought cowboy gear.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
okay, though. I mean, you can't teach people to be kind to each other. They have to go through the shit storm and
Yeah.
hate
And
life
eventually-
and then be a complete cocksucker to people, and then you come out all right.
Definitely for
Or you
like
get shot.
the 15 right for the 15-year-olds, but all the way from the 15-year-olds through
Oh, I know.
girls who were my age were dressed the same.
Even the
Yeah.
fucking moms that brought their
The
daughters look the
moms,
same.
yeah.
I was like, bitch,
Yeah.
please.
You know, that's what happens at a show of a man named Tyler Childers.
I hate
dude.
You're
you.
gonna get all the fucking idiots. That
You know-
I want to be cool.
I'll agree with that. So we're in the dude's hometown. I'll agree with that for sure. The crowd, okay. I got 2 beers spilt on me. One was directly on me. The
Yep.
other one was in my seat, and the girl didn't fucking clean it up.
She didn't
was a cunt.
say anything, or
But
she's lucky she didn't get knocked the fuck
Should've
out.
laughed
the
it up at
fucking
her.
the crowd, dude, was fucking annoying, dude. Everybody in that mother, they're just. I don't know what it is to be like. I get that you're young. I get that you're wild. I get that you got a lot of alcohol in your system. I get that, but you're gonna learn eventually that fucking sucks. Like,
We'll
that's
learn
not-
today.
Yeah,
I swear.
I mean, it was like, why the fuck are we here? When it comes down to that like absurdity of life, I
Yeah.
told her, I was like, it's hard to fucking fathom what's going on in this building because of the absurdity
It's
to which
ridiculous.
these people are. And then like she said, fucking every dude there, you could tell was like not a cowboy.
Yeah.
But they all
Yeah.
went and bought new cowboy hats.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you're not a cowboy until that shit has wear holes in it from you working all the time.
Why were all the guys and girls dressed the same? They all had the
Tight
plaid
jeans.
shirt, the tight jeans, and the cowboy hat.
Pumpkin ass white people.
Yeah.
Fucking
It was.
Why does everybody at a DMX concert have their pants at their knees?
But they all looked like none of them had those clothes before that concert.
Yeah.
It wasn't even, it's like they bought them at Macy's.
This is my costume for the show.
Yeah.
Let's get you get our tickets. I'll get our outfits.
I'll say though that
I'll bring the Bud Light.
It goes back to
God.
what you were talking about. That it's a lot to do with the mothers and the people that are raising these kids. Because one, so you have that
And
girl
the
that grew
absent
up
fathers.
Yeah, the girl that grew up in high school that had it all. She was Miss whatever prom, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Of course, she has a kid that she wants to be a cheerleader, and she's gonna make her do all the things and wear makeup at 6 years old and shit. But then you have the girl that wasn't so popular and wasn't so now she's pushing her stupid ass kid into all the sports, giving her makeup at 5 and 6. Like, here, go be a slut because I remember
sluts.
I remember the cool girls back in high school, they were sluts. So if I can make you a slut, I can live vicariously through you, and then they can all be on the same page.
And
that's
then they
why
can be
you
like,
have
I'm fucking those boys.
That's right.
that's why you have the
Don't forget to bring
overwhelming
Trevor home.
oneness of dumb bitches.
That's
And
right.
guys, I'm not gonna fucking like disprove that the guys as
I will
well.
say the guys were not as bad. But, yes, it was still there, but they were not as bad.
Yeah. I mean, there is that type of dude.
Yeah.
You just see him. You're like, eh.
Yeah, and
You're
they're at
that
all the
guy.
concerts.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're watching Tyler Childers or the Misfits. That guy's there.
Yes.
Oh, shit. I felt like I had something else to say. I guess not, though. It's okay.
Think here. What do I have that I wanna? Steve
No.
said cheeky monkey.
You're good, my love. You
don't
can
know what that means.
close it.
You sure?
Yeah.
You didn't have anything to bring up?
I can't put my finger on it, and I'm not going to sit here in
I'm gonna watch you
silence
try to put
unless
your finger on it.
you all are going to talk while I try to think about it.
All right, man.
got
Do you
another
have a
deal.
show coming up
I gotta
after
pee.
Tuesday?
I don't think we're playing until February.
All right, so February, Gravel and Spiders back on the road, doing their thing in February, but not yet. So
February.
January, all the people that go watch that shit, take the month off. Go do something with your life.
Yeah.
But in February, in that shit and come see Gravel and Spider. We do appreciate all listeners. This is episode 40. I can't believe we made it to 40. I'm like
40.
a lot of you. I'm pretty jacked about
I
it.
have an idea for episode 42, but I don't know about 41.
Okay.
What the fuck, man?
Why do we need to skip one for 42?
You'll see.
Okay.
You know what we should do? episode number 41 should be an entire episode about Dave Matthews Band.
No, it
because
shouldn't.
he has a song, one of his number one songs, number 41.
I think I'm coming down with something.
So wildly uninteresting. What the
Ooh,
fuck?
You can do
Yeah.
it.
Okay, anyway, so now wildly uninteresting is only Sarah and Ian.
Adam got kicked off that too.
I was gonna say it actually is wildly uninteresting.
Right.
Yeah, there we go. Let's talk about this shithead.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's all right. He's actually a pretty talented guy.
He is talented. His music
Are y'all
just
talking
fucking
about me?
sucks. No,
Oh, okay. I
we're
was
talking
like,
about Dave
Are
Matthews.
you saying I'm a shit? I was like, are y'all talking about me like I'm not here?
No,
What is going on here?
because you're not now.
He
It's
deserves
just-
all the
it's just
torment
us.
that he got as a child.
Oh, shit.
I'd have beat his ass too.
Beat that motherfucker too.
Shit.
No, but we do
No,
appreciate
I wouldn't
you
have been
listening.
able to.
If you caught, if you've even caught like 5 of the last 40 episodes, we're very grateful for that. Like, subscribe, share, do whatever you do. Let us know in the comments what the fuck we can do better for you as an audience, and stop being silent to all the people that do.
Or eat an ass. We don't care.
Yeah, either way.
Yeah.
Or eat an ass and then describe it in the comments.
Thanks for listening.
We're
Allergic
to cheese. Zach is
Wildly uninteresting podcast.
Vote for murderers.